welcome. You're watching Sports Buzz, where we bring you all that's making news in the world of sports. I'm Samriddhi Goyal. Let's begin. In T20 World Cup, South Africa will be up against Bangladesh today, having won 2 consecutive matches against West Indies and Sri Lanka. And with 4 points in 3 matches, South Africa a strong contender for the semi-finals. Pakistan to face Namibia in another match of the T20 World Cup today. After 3 consecutive wins, Pakistan will now try to continue its winning streak to enter the semis. Five-time Asian medalist Shiva Thapa to face Turkey's Kerem Osman in the quarter-final of the Men's Boxing World Championships in Serbia today. Shiva beat France's Lunis Hamroy 4-1 in the 63.5 kg category of the pre-quarter-final on Monday. Malmo set to face Chelsea in the group stage of the UEFA Champions League. Malmo in the game on the back of a 3-2 win over Sirius in the Allsvenskan. Chelsea in the match after beating Newcastle United 3-0. Well, first up, T20 World Cup. Now, in today's Super 12 fixture, Bangladesh are 8 wickets down against South Africa in a Group 1 fixture of the ongoing T20 World Cup at the Sheikh Zayed Stadium in Abu Dhabi. Earlier, South Africa had won the toss and elected to bowl first. The Protests kept it late to secure a much-needed win against Sri Lanka in their last game, thanks to a late flourish from David Miller. Meanwhile, the Mahmudullah-led Bangladesh have lost all 3 of their games so far. Shakib Al Hasan will miss this game as he has been ruled out of the tournament. Now, in the second match of the day, Pakistan will play against Namibia, and Pakistan has registered 3 consecutive wins in the last 3 matches and will now in fact try to continue its winning streak to enter the semis. The Pakistani team under the captaincy of Babar Azam has performed well against all odds, winning matches against India and New Zealand. England beat Sri Lanka by 26 runs in Group 1 of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2021 in Sharjah to put one foot firmly in the semi-finals. An astonishing Jos Butler century helped England to victory over Sri Lanka in Group 1 in Sharjah. Butler reached his ton with a 6 off the final ball of the first innings with the brilliant 101, his highest individual score in T20 international cricket. And Butler played a crucial role in the field as Sri Lanka threatened to push England close in their chase on 164, with the wicketkeeper pulling off 2 excellent run-outs, the second with an inspired direct hit. Sri Lanka's reply pettered out in the end, with Moeen Ali 2 for 15 picking up 2 wickets in the penultimate over to wrap up the innings with 6 balls remaining and Sri Lanka still 26 runs shy. Jos Butler set the T20 World Cup alight with his maiden T20I century, helping England register their 4th successive win in the tournament. The Englishman produced a batting masterclass in Sharjah, smashing an unbeaten 101 off just 67 balls against Sri Lanka, prompting England's star all-rounder Ben Stokes, calling him the best in the world. Now, Butler has also become the first English batsman to score a century in all the 3 formats. Here's a detailed report on the star English batsman's records.
England has become the first team to reach the semi-finals in the ongoing ICC T20 World Cup. England made it to the semi-finals from Group 1 with 4 consecutive victories in the tournament. English opener Jos Butler played an important role in the victory against Sri Lanka while playing an unbeaten century. Butler played an unbeaten innings of 101 runs against Sri Lanka. During this innings, he also made many records in his name. Butler, who opened the innings for England, remained in the crease till the end and scored a brilliant century century. He hit 6 sixes and 6 fours in his innings. Butler completed his century by hitting a 6 off the last ball of the innings. This is Butler's highest score in T20 cricket and also his first century. Earlier this year, he played an unbeaten innings of 83 runs against India. With this, he has become the first England batsman to score a century for his country in all 3 formats. He has 9 centuries in 2 ODIs and Tests and 1 century in T20s. Jos Butler played the second highest innings as a wicketkeeper in the T20 World Cup. The record for playing the biggest innings in the T20 World Cup in the name of Brendan McCullum, who scored 123 runs. He completed 1,000 runs in international cricket as an opener during his unbeaten century against Sri Lanka. He became the fastest batsman to complete 1,000 runs as an opener in T20 international cricket for England. He broke Alex Hale's record by touching this figure in 26 innings. At the same time, he also achieved the feat of scoring the fastest 2,000 runs in international cricket for England. Butler broke the record of Ian Morgan, who did this feat in 83 innings. Apart from Butler, English captain Ian Morgan also made special records against Sri Lanka. Morgan has become the captain with the most number of matches in T20 internationals. This is Morgan's 43rd win in T20 international cricket as captain. Morgan has captained the England team in 68 T20 internationals so far. And prior to Morgan, the record for most matches won as captain in T20 international cricket was held by former Afghanistan captain Asghar Afghan, who won 42 out of 52 matches as captain. Afghan has said goodbye to international cricket on Sunday itself. In this match against England, Sri Lankan spinner Vanendu Hasaranga achieved a big achievement while bowling brilliantly. With 2 wickets, Hasaranga holds the record for most wickets in a calendar year. He also took a hat-trick in ODI debut and in the World Cup T20 as well. Earlier, the record of taking most wickets in a calendar year was held by South Africa's Tabraiz Shamsi. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, now with 2 crushing defeats against Pakistan and New Zealand, India's run has been derailed and the chances now look very grim for India reaching the semi-finals of the ongoing T20 Cricket World Cup. However, there is still a chance that India can redeem itself and get their campaign back on track when they take on feisty Afghanistan in their next match. What are the chances though? Let's take a look in our next report.
After losing their crucial match against Pakistan and New Zealand, Team India will now be up against Team Afghanistan in their 3rd Group B match of the ongoing T20 Cricket World Cup. In this match against Afghanistan, the team would look forward to open their winning account and factor in the possibilities of making it to the semi-finals of T20 Cricket World Cup by aiming to win all group stage matches from here onwards. Having taken only 2 wickets together so far with their struggling performance in the previous 2 matches against Pakistan and New Zealand, a change in the playing 11 can also be expected by Team India against Afghanistan, with mulling few takeaways from their previous 2 losses in group stage matches. Talking about Afghanistan, the team brags 2 victories and 1 loss in 3 matches played in the tournament so far. Afghanistan's bowling could pose serious problems for the Indian team, where Rashid Khan and Mujibur Rahman will be aiming to put their best. In the T20 World Cup records, India and Afghanistan have met twice so far, where the Indian team has won both the times. However, India this time not just needs to win against Afghanistan, but need to score big too in order to improve their net run rate, which is yet another factor to make it to the semi-finals. And if we talk about the pitch of the Sheikh Zayed Cricket Stadium, where both the teams will play against each other, then the surface has been a little difficult to bat on, whereas obtaining swing on this pitch will be a difficult task as well. Till now, 160 has been a good total at this venue. However, the batters should be able to score some easy runs in the power play. The pitch is expected to get slower as the day progresses, and as the upcoming matches is an evening affair, the dew will again play a crucial role too, which has been the case with Team India in the previous 2 matches as well. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, India lost its 2nd group match to New Zealand by 8 wickets, but it's not yet all over for the men in blue. Now let's take a look at our next report to know how India can make it to the semi-finals of the T20 Cricket World Cup.
India lost its second group match to New Zealand by 8 wickets in the T20 Cricket World Cup after losing its opening match to Pakistan by 10 wickets. Chasing a 111-run target, New Zealand continued their unbeaten T20 World Cup spree against India by sealing the chase in the 15th over. It was a 72-run partnership for the second wicket between Darrell and Kane Williamson, which didn't let the Indian bowlers stand tall on their potential for the second time in a row, and especially as the top order struggled throughout in both the matches. Though the team at this point of time needs to rework, analyze and once again line up their playing 11 with decoding their strengths and weaknesses, it's not all over yet for Team India at the T20 Cricket World Cup. Even after losing its do-or-die match against Team New Zealand, with continuing their struggling performance on the pitches, Team India can still make it to the semi-finals of the Cricket World Cup. Let's take a look at India's road to T20 Cricket World Cup semi-finals. Factor 1. Either Scotland or Namibia needs to beat New Zealand in upcoming group stage matches. Factor 2. India needs to win all remaining group stage matches, that is against Afghanistan, Scotland and Namibia. Factor 3. India needs to maintain a better NRR, which is net run rate, in comparison to New Zealand. Factor 4. Afghanistan needs to beat New Zealand to ensure all teams are tied on 6 points, so best NRR moves ahead. While India's fate will be decided by a 4-factor approach, the need of the hour is immediate analysis and course correction for the men in blue to strategize a winning game plan for their upcoming matches at the ongoing T20 Cricket World Cup. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, from cricket, we now move on to boxing. Now, 5-time Asian medalist Shiva Thapa defeated France's Lounis Hamroy 4-1 in the 63.5 kg category of the pre-quarterfinal at the Men's Boxing World Championships in Belgrade, Serbia on Monday. He will face Turkey's Kerim Osman in the quarterfinal today. In another bout, India's Deepak Bhoria was beaten by Kazakhstan's Sakin Bibosinov and the reigning Olympic and World Championship bronze medalist. Also exiting the tournament was Sumit Kundu at 75 kgs and Akash Sangwan at 67 kgs, and Sumit Kundu lost to Cuban Yolinis Hernandez by 0-5. Now, world number 1 and 9-time Australian Open champion Novak Djokovic said he was unsure if he would defend his title at the next year's Australian Open. The state of Victoria, where the Grand Slam event takes place in Melbourne, has introduced a vaccine mandate for professional athletes, although authorities have not yet clarified what the requirement will be for those coming from abroad. Djokovic, who is tied with Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal on a record 20 Grand Slam titles, added that he will not be commenting on the matter again until official requirements are announced. We'll move on.
I'm going to decide on whether I go to Australia or not after I see the official statement from the Tennis Australia. Right now we don't have any official announcement or statement, so until that's out I won't be talking about this anymore, because you know, I don't want to be part of the stories about the assumptions and what ifs. When the official condition requirements to travel to Australia and play in Australia are out, then obviously I'll see what I personally do with that, and also the bigger group of the players, you know, because the situation is obviously different in Australia than most part of the world.
Well, in Champions League, in the group stage of the UEFA Champions League, Malmo is set to face Chelsea at the Elida Stadium. Malmo came into the game on the back of a 3-2 win over Sirius in the Allsvenskan. A penalty from Norwegian forward Joe Inge Berget and a second-half brace from Croatian attacker Antonio Kolak secured the win for John Dahl Tomasson's Malmo. Now, young Swedish midfielder Nahom Girmay Netabe and attacker Eddie Silisufaj scored the consolation goals for Sirius. Chelsea, on the other hand, beat Newcastle United 3-0 in the English Premier League. A second-half brace from right-back Reece James and a penalty from midfielder Jorginho sealed the deal for Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea. The two clubs last faced each other a few days ago, where Chelsea beat Malmo 4-0. Now with just one Champions League win to their name so far this season, Barcelona know that only another 3-point haul will suffice as they travel to face Dynamo Kiev in Ukraine on Tuesday evening. Barcelona striker Sergio Aguero has been ruled out for the 3 months following cardiac evaluation. The Argentine international received medical assistance on the pitch after he complained of a chest pain during Saturday's 1-1 draw in Alvarez in La Liga and had to be taken to the hospital. Barca said he now faces a lengthy spell out. The 33-year-old joined Barcelona on a free transfer from Manchester City in July. He has made 5 appearances in all competitions so far, scoring 1 goal after starting the season with a calf problem. Now, Sports 360 takes a look at some of the next wonder kids across European football who are set to join elites of the European football. Let's take a look.
Described by German boss Hansi Flick as the complete package, Wirtz is on his way to having an incredible season after also making his international debut last month. Unsurprisingly, he has been dubbed as the new Kai Havertz after the former Leverkusen star, and some of Europe's biggest clubs are already queuing up in line for the attacking midfielder. He is German football's biggest talent coming through, and as long as he stays fit and healthy, then he is certain to have big future ahead of him. Eduardo Camavinga, Real Madrid. After impressing at Rennes, the 18-year-old sealed a £34 million summer move to Real Madrid after being linked to a host of other top European sides, including Manchester United. The gifted teenager is a complete midfielder who operates in deep area of the pitch but can contribute going forward. It will take time for him to fully break into Real Madrid's squad, having started 3 of their 9 games across La Liga and the Champions League so far this season. But manager Carlo Ancelotti has said that he has been surprised by the impact that the youngster has already made, and he's got some of the world's top midfielders over the last decade to learn from Luka Modric, Toni Kroos and Casemiro. Nonu Madueke, PSV Eindhoven. England have a wide array of talented attacking wide players in their squad, but Madueke is one name who has been largely out of limelight playing in the Eredivisie. The 19-year-old winger enjoyed a breakthrough season in Netherlands last season, scoring 9 goals and registering 8 assists. He has started this season in a similar vein as he scored twice in 4-0 thrashing of rivals Ajax in the Johan Cruyff Shield final back in August. Madueke made his England under-21 debut back in March and has started to get buzz with clubs including Real Madrid, PSG, Liverpool and Tottenham, all set to be monitoring his progress. Ryan Gravenberch, Ajax. The 19-year-old Dutchman is the latest star to come through Ajax's prestigious youth academy after turning down the advances of Paris Saint-Germain as a 15-year-old. Gravenberch has been a regular in the side since last season, and his performances have led to talk of him being the next Paul Pogba. The Pogba comparison is understandable, with both 6 feet 3 inches tall central midfielder who look to be driving forces for their team, always looking for the forward pass or a run to start attacks. Both also share an agent in Mino Raiola, who could be busy in future over Gravenberch, with some of Europe's top clubs keeping track of his progress over future move. Yusuf Moukoko, Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund have a number of talented youngsters, including Jude Bellingham, who at 18 years old has emerged into a star midfielder who starts every game for Bundesliga side and has been called up by England a number of times over the last years. Another of their young stars is Moukoko, who made his Dortmund debut last November, a day after he turned 16. He scored an outrageous 141 goals in 88 youth team matches and has since gone on to net 3 times in 19 appearances at senior level, becoming the youngest scorer in Bundesliga history. Moukoko already has £9 million deal with Nike and is earmarked to be the future Ballon d'Or winner. Karim Adeyemi, Red Bull Salzburg. Red Bull Salzburg have had some talented striker in recent seasons, most notably Erling Haaland. Now they seem to have another star in 19-year-old Adeyemi. The Australian League isn't the toughest division, granted, but he is generating serious buzz after netting 3 goals in the Champions League. And it's no wonder Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund are said to be interested. There have been obvious comparisons to Haaland after their Salzburg connection, but he has also been labelled as the next Arjen Robben, who is a player Ademi described as his idol growing up. The forward recently scored on his debut for Germany, and it is heavily expected he will follow Haaland and Paston Daka out of the door to a top club in Europe should he continue the way he is going. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, before we wrap up, a quick recap of the headlines once again. In T20 World Cup, South Africa to be up against Bangladesh today, having won 2 consecutive matches against West Indies and Sri Lanka, and with 4 points from 3 matches, South Africa a strong contender for the semi-finals. Pakistan to face Namibia in another match of the T20 World Cup today. After 3 consecutive wins, Pakistan will try to continue its winning streak to enter the semis. Five-time Asian medalist Shiva Thapa to face Turkey's Kerim Osman in the quarter-final of the Men's Boxing World Championships in Serbia today. Shiva beat France's Lunis Hamroy 4-1 in the 63.5 kg category of the pre-quarter-final on Monday. Malmo set to face Chelsea in the group stage of the UEFA Champions League. Malmo in the game on the back of a 3-2 win over Sirius in the Allsvenskan. Chelsea in the match after beating Newcastle United 3-0. Well, that's all in today's edition of Sports Buzz. Do keep watching DD India for the latest news updates. Thanks for watching.